Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday and welcome to What's New in Neos in 19 minutes, your home for everything alliteration based. Very excited to have you guys join us. We have been releasing content so fast that we felt that it would be helpful to our user base to have this monthly webinar to just very quickly run you through all of the new features that came out in the latest release. So we have 19 minutes and a lot of content to get to. I'm watching everybody drop in. We've got a big list today, and some of my favorite people in the world are attending this webinar. So welcome. I'm excited to have you guys. Let's go ahead and dive in. So let me get my screen set up here, put all the right pieces in place. All right. So here is our classic Neos Today screen, our dashboard. This is what you guys see when you log in every morning. Now, I'm going to start with the reminder right out of the gate that if you want to see what's new, there's a place to do that. So I can never talk enough about the support portal. Go to that question mark, that help. You've got all kinds of great resources here, including the knowledge base, the learning hub, on-demand webinars. But what we're looking for is this what's new tab. So we pull that out, and there's a couple of different ways that you can review what's new. We've got the release content, which is a nice fancy page that our marketing team puts together and runs you through everything that's here, including some of the videos and stuff that I've worked on. And you can go through all of the new features step by step if you like. There's also literally something called the Neos changelog. And the changelog is the list of all the changes that have been made to your Neos, all the new features and updates and enhancements. And you can see not just the most recent one, but scroll right back through and see everything that's happened. So we're going to use the changelog today to kind of dive in and run through these lists one by one. So without further ado, let's start with the top one called the client master rate. This is about hourly billing. So that's going to go back over to Neos. If you have certain clients that you have negotiated specific rates with, you can set a rate override, as it were, a client master rate, so that any cases that they're associated with are billed at that rate that you set. So let's see how it works. First, we need to go to Address Book and find this client. So for the sake of this example, we're going to use Stark Industries. Let's say I've signed up Stark Industries as a new corporate client, and I represent them in a variety of cases. Now, every provider card always has the provider associations, notes, and documents, but you've got this new tab here called billing rates, which is exactly what we're talking about. So if we click billing rates, you've got a couple of options, including the master rate. So let's say the master rate for this client, enable, is $150 per hour. So that's what we bill them. And we can click save. And now any cases where they are linked as our client, any time entries that you make that get passed on to the value tab, $150 per hour. But of course, there's exceptions to every rule. So there are exception rates even to the master rate. And you can do this by staff group. So let's say our master rate for Stark Industries is $150 an hour, except, we'll add an exception, when we're specifically talking about attorneys. When attorneys are working for Stark Industries, it's going to be $250 per hour. Save. So I now have a master rate of 150 and an exception attorney rate of 250. So let's go open a case and see how that shakes out. I've got a couple of cases here. Which ones have a nice time tab? Let's go with this one. Okay. So we've got this case. The first thing that we need to do is add Stark Industries as a party to the case. So we are going to add a party, and we'll find Stark. There's our Stark Industries. Select. They're now a new party in the case. We're going to make them the defendant because we are defending them in this particular area. And then this checkbox is key. Our client. This indicates that we are representing Stark Industries. So save. And now Stark Industries is our client in this case. Let's go down to our time tab. We're going to make a new entry here. Pick a duration. let's say it's 1 hour, and the staff member is going to be Sam Wilson. He's one of our paralegals, and this is billable. So I click the billable, and what did I do? I didn't save. Always save. Always, always save. So let's go back here. Let's discard this. Let's try it again so I can really show off for you, because this is cool stuff. Add Sam, task code, plan and prepare, 1 hour, and it's billable. And look at that, $150 dropped in automatically. It already knows that that is the rate for this particular client. But what if it's an attorney? So let's switch to Jennifer Walters, one of our attorneys, and the exception rate overrides the master rate, and you get this little message here that tells you exactly that that is happening. So you know why that number was set. Pretty cool. So if you've got those special clients or big corporate clients or whomever that you've negotiated a specific hourly rate for, you can now set a master rate and exceptions to that master rate. All right, let's go back to our changelog. Next is email threads. This is pretty cool. I really like this functionality because this is all about notes. And in your entire database, notes is one of the biggest things. An average case can have hundreds, if not thousands of notes. You've got all of your phone calls, you've got all of your inter-office messages, your text messages, as well as emails, and tons of them. So again, Neos users, very familiar with this screen. This is my list of notes, but you'll notice a new column here, the thread column. So if you have multiple emails going back and forth on a particular thread and you're doing the right thing, you're posting every single one of them, Neos will now detect that they are part of a singular thread. So if you want to see only the emails associated with that thread, you can see I've got two of them here. I've got this thread and I've got this thread. Just click that little question mark icon. Your notes will filter to only display the emails, whether it's 2 or 150. If they're on the same thread, it will show you everything on that thread exclusively. So we can clear our conversation filter. If you go to your Neos and you do not see the thread column, no worries, it's probably in your column chooser. So go to any of these 3 dots, go to columns, find your thread or any other checkboxes that you want to check or uncheck to change your specific display to make sure you've got that functionality. There's 2 other things here that are kind of cool. If you go to preview and you scroll to the bottom, you'll be able to see all the other emails in that thread. And if you open an email all the way and go to the bottom, you'll see, hey, there's 3 other posted emails, notes associated with this particular conversation. Cool stuff. All right, we're burning through it. Wow, there's still a lot to go. Okay, LawPay integration. LawPay is a wonderful company. They are top of the bunch when it comes to collecting digital payments from your clients. So if you have to bill your clients, you want to make it as easy as possible for them to pay their bills. So I'm going to kick over here because this is my environment where LawPay is connected. And I've got Fisk Industries, and all of this happens from the Value tab. So if we go down to our Value tab, no, let's go ahead and save these changes. I don't know what changes they were, but save them. We go to our Value tab. In our last release, you may have noticed in the Value tab, not only do you have value entries, but you also have the ability to create invoices from directly within Neos. So I've already created this invoice. This client owes us $500 for work done on their case. So I can open up this invoice and I click share. And then who's my recipient? It's going to, we're going to bill Fisk Industries for this one. I can send a copy to my law firm or me or whatever I want to decide. And then I want to include a payment link for LawPay. So we'll go ahead and check that box. And then it will ask you, what account do you want this payment deposited to? And this is all set up when you originally set up your LawPay account. You'll link it to whichever bank accounts you want to be able to accept payments. So we'll select this bank account and then we'll click send. And now a copy of this invoice, oh, geez, my connection might not be up and running. A copy of this invoice is sent to LawPay and then is sent to my existing client in a very easy way that they can go ahead and make that online payment. So I'm going to let that process for a second while I take a look at our integrations here. So if you're interested in LawPay, if you're interested in accepting digital payments, you can go to integrations, scroll down, find LawPay. This is a great screen, by the way. If you haven't gone to this screen, there is some amazing stuff here. These are all the different products that you can connect to your Neo system. If you want to use RingCentral, if you want to use CasePulse, if you want to use all of these functions, the Zapier stuff is so cool. I nerd out about the Zapier stuff. And LawPay is the latest edition, and everything here explains exactly what you need to know to set up that LawPay account. All right. Let me see if I can find for you real quick, kind of on the fly, what that email is going to look like for you. Okay, so here we go. So this is what a LawPay invoice is going to look like when you send it to your client. And it is so easy. They literally get this email. They've got, who it's coming from. They can click here to see a PDF, or they can click view, bill, and pay. And it literally opens up a website just like any other type of online transaction. Give me your name, address, credit card number, and then all of that money comes straight back to your firm. Easy. They can do it from their cell phone. Simple. Oh my God, it's 12 minutes already. I talk too much. Okay, let's go back to the change log and moving on. QuickBooks Online Name Sync is an easy one. We can just talk about it. For those of you that are using the QuickBooks Online integration, and I recommend it, it's a fabulous accounting program. We've just made it even more robust. So name and default address changes sync to the customer and vendor that have a link of type link and update when the integration setting, sync address and name changes and customer and vendors is turned off. So for you accountants out there that are hanging out with me, I appreciate you. I know your job is challenging, and we're constantly improving that integration to make it better and better. All right, related documents. This was a big thing in one of our previous releases, and I love this functionality. So I'm going to come back over here to Neos. The concept here is document management. You have so very many documents. So let's go to our case docs of this particular case. And a lot of times documents will be related to each other or different versions of the same document. So what you see that I have here is I've got my retainer agreement, and I've got a partially executed retainer agreement, and I've got my related column. So I know that these two documents are related, and I can click in there and see the relation between them. So let's go ahead and, well, what we would normally do is we would drag a file in and then add it to the other relation. But we've made that simpler, because if you have a lot of related documents and you want to dump them all in at once, this is easy stuff. So we're going to click once to get our preview pane up. Give me that preview pane. Come on. There she is. Okay. And this is our new PDF editor. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, also cool, but I don't have time for it today. So let's scroll to the bottom, and you'll see we now have a related documents section right here, which is great. So you can jump from one related document to the other. But what you can also do, let me open up my case documents folder. We'll bring it down here. I have the fully executed retainer agreement. So I'm literally going to drag and drop into this related document section. So we'll say it's a correspondence on the fee agreement, and save, and it uploads into my case, into my documents tab, into the related documents sort of subset of these documents. Everything you need to know. It was literally one drag and drop, 2 clicks. It's there. It's so easy to associate these documents with each other. We go back to our notes and you can see related. I've got 2 related documents, this one and this one. If I click it, oh, I missed. See, now it gives me the preview pane too fast. I want to see the related. There we go. These are the 2 documents that are related to this original version. All right. Back to our change log. Settlement calculator additional decimal points. So this is all about precision, and I love precision, especially when it comes to data. So let's go back to a case here. Let's see. I don't know if I have any value entries in this particular case. Let's just open up our settlement calculator. Let's say we've got a settlement offer for $100,000, right? And the attorney fees you can set at 33%, which is approximately a third, but it's not actually a third. So if you want, and can be a third, can be whatever, calculation you'd like to make, this will now go to 10 decimal points. Precision. So if you have agreed to a third or some other fraction, you can be very specific to make sure that you are not accidentally leaving money on the table. So the settlement calculator is an incredibly powerful tool, and I picked a poor case to demonstrate it, but it's already going to calculate all of the case expenses and damages and liens and everything else that's associated with this case. And if you're on the phone with the adjuster, you can literally enter an offer, calculate the fees, calculate the referral fees, and it's going to tell you on the fly exactly how much money is going to go to the client and how much money is going to go to the firm. It's cool stuff. So take advantage of that if you haven't yet. All right, back to our change log. We're almost there. Settings and permissions. We've added a new category of accounting. This is pretty easy. So if we go to settings and staff, and we open up a staff member, we'll open up me for this example. You've got your permissions. There is a new accounting category. So if we open this up, it gives access to the accounting tab, which is this tab on the side involved with a lot of the finances and invoicing and QuickBooks and accounting connections. So you have this option to allow or deny users access to that area. We're almost there, and you guys are hanging with me, and I appreciate it. Value transactions. So this isn't big technologically, but man, has this been a requested feature. So I saved one of the best for last here. Let's go back in. Let's see. Do I have any value entries in this case? Yes. Okay, so just this billing one. But what we've done is given, let's say we open up a value entry, and you need to add a transaction detail to this value entry. You click the plus sign, and it's going to default almost all of these fields, because every time you come in here to add a transaction to a value entry, not every time, 90% of the time, it's the same thing. Based on the type of value entry it is, Neos is going to detect, should it be a payment, credit or debit? Who's it going to be paid to? Who's it going to be paid by? The transaction date is today. You're clicking it today. You don't have to go into the field and select July 26, 2022. We know it's today. So we've taken a lot of the effort out of the value transaction and put in a lot of these defaults. And if you want to change them, by all means, modify just like you did before. But hopefully we've removed several steps for you to make modifying value transactions much, much easier. Okay, and there's our 19 minutes. That was super fast. So again, if you want to review any of this, go to the help menu. The support portal opens up. You've got all kinds of great stuff. Click what's new, review the page, check out the change log. It's all amazing stuff. And that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you guys next month with a whole new boat of great new features. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one.